looking back on all of this, are you week in and week out, you have to come here and defend your team? Like there's someone who's supposed to be a champion and all that. Like, is this a sense of pride? Like, do you feel good about yourself?
If all 19 other teams just died tomorrow and Arsenal were automatically gifted the trophy, the Premier League trophy, with an asterisk saying all other teams died, so you guys got this trophy, I would still fucking celebrate it like we won the trophy, because we won the trophy.
Welcome to the Classes Permanent Podcast. Today is Tuesday, May 12th, and we have a great episode here for you. Huge weekend recap, some big news from around the world here. Pooch's 1994 World Cup review. That's a good one, USA, the last one here in the States. And we, I guess, have a midweek preview. I don't really know. It's kind of weird with what games are going on. And then we have a new segment, obviously a shorter episode called Footy Jeopardy. Shout out to Owen for putting that together. Let's get into it. Away we go.
Class is permanent! Hey, 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 hey. Form is temporary!
Alrighty. As you could tell, I'm joined here by Owen, who I guess it's not Jeopardy we're playing. What are we playing then? Oh, Family Feud.
Footy Feud.
Understood.
Yeah,
so we're playing
way
that.
better.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Way better. Owen, how are you doing? You're wearing your Minnesota Wild jersey here today.
Yeah, let's go Wild. Quinn Hughes will take us to the promised land.
How long you been a Wild fan?
I've been like a casual Wild fan, I guess, since day one. But the past few years, I've gotten more into it.
Okay.
And as the Wild have kind of gotten, I feel like a little more competitive. And now we're going to win the Stanley Cup, so it's going to be cool to be around for that.
Yeah. You ever been to Minneapolis?
Never.
And Pooch, how are you? You're here too.
I'm good, or I'm great, Ethan.
Oh, IO. Ohio was great this weekend. Thank you for asking.
Okay.
Honestly, so funny enough, the commencement speaker's name was E. Rose Stamps the Fourth. Anyone with a name like that, you just an old head, 85 years old. I was just like
35-minute speech.
That's what I feared. And all weekend I talked about it. We talked about it on the podcast the other day. Good speech is 5 to 10 minutes, a couple jokes, a relatable point, right? Like something you could walk away with. This guy walked up and I was like, oh, fuck, he's older than I thought. You know, the lips are starting to go in, like cursed in. He starts off, he's like, you know, I've always heard that a good speech is short, couple jokes, and relatable. I swear to God, verbatim, he said that. I looked at my mom and I was like, I told you. 10 minutes. He actually, very funny. He's like, he would make jokes about like how he was a C student, how he's like, yeah, you know, I think C students rule the world, mainly because there's probably more of us than you, like shit like that, like just like funny stuff. And then he got out of there quick. He told an analogy about being the guy that washes a rental car. He's like, never be the guy that washes the rental car, which I'm not sure if that was related to just giving men advice about women, or if he was trying to say, you know, take care of your alumni, don't make it a rental car. But yeah, very nice weekend. Shout out Ben for graduating. Did it flawlessly. Went across the country, 8-hour drive. Something no one in my family's really done. We've all graduated college, but you know, I went 15 minutes from home. My cousins went to like Columbia, so like everyone was local.
For a second, I thought you meant go to Ohio. Nobody in your family's ever done it. I was
no.
say,
prior to Ben, no one had.
I'm pretty sure me and you went to Ohio.
I didn't go with you.
Yeah, you did.
I wasn't there. You're talking about Clayburg.
I was thinking
wasn't
of
there.
Sosa.
Don't ever do that to me again. First off,
I was.
That's one of the most disrespectful things you've ever done.
I was thinking it was you were Sosa for a second.
I know you're trying
That's
to rile
on
me
me.
up, and
I'm
I mean,
not, I legit. Hey, I got my white flag up. I'm truced out.
For those that are listening right now, I figured out how to get a soundboard on here. And Sosa, I know at this point is listening, and he knows that's not even me disrespecting him, saying don't. He would stand on that too. We're the type of guys that got guns pointed at each other's head, but we also kind of hate everyone else. But yeah, I mean, Pooch, we both had good weekends.
Yeah,
we're both league champions. First year of this podcast, and we're both league champions. That's pretty big news. We're 100%.
That's why we got to keep it going.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're technically not a league champion yet, but
Yeah.
in a good spot. We'll obviously get into those games and the blatant corruption that we've seen the past 24 hours or so, maybe 48 at this point. But yeah, let's jump into the footy news. So a couple of headlines here. We talked about Mourinho to Madrid. It seems like that's heating up. I saw some more reports from Fabrizio saying that It looks like Mourinho's up for the move. It looks like there's going to have some things to negotiate with Benfica. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it makes sense, but I also feel like it doesn't. I don't know how to explain that. Like, in theory, it sounds like the right idea, but I just feel like it might actually spiral them worse.
He's the only dictator that can out-dictator dictator Mbappe.
Like, as much as I want to say that, I also feel like he's going to get there, and the players are just going to hate him so much. But and like the whole idea of like, oh, he's going to get them in line. I don't know. Sometimes you need a shared enemy, and they're all going to hate him, but they also all hated Xabi Alonso. They all also now apparently all hate Arbeloa. Casillas, I don't know if you guys saw this in relation to the story. They asked him, who do you think should be the manager like this summer? And he just said, I think they should rehire Xabi Alonso.
Yeah, I mean, they should.
That'd be kind of awesome. Low key, it's like, hey, that's on us. You get all the power now.
Yeah. Well, that's what it would be. Like, whatever
Right.
manager comes in next, they are getting all the power.
The crazy part is, though, is like, is Florentino Perez even in a position right now to actually offer that? In the sense of, yes, obviously with transfers, like, does he even run the locker room himself?
Well,
It
don't
seems
they
like he
also
doesn't.
have a election coming up soon?
They don't do elections. He
Real
owns the
doesn't
club.
do election?
He owns the club.
Okay.
All right, at least, yeah. Let me look.
Because I thought I saw something within the past 2 months where it was like he's trying to like win elections because that's how he got it originally. I'm pretty sure is he
I
won an
apologize.
election.
I apologize. It is an election. He has 5 straight consecutive terms, all 5 uncontested.
Yeah,
No one has ever
well,
run against him.
yeah.
So that's why I didn't think there was like, it's not a thing. In Barcelona, it's like a proper election. If I'm not mistaken, though.
Barcelona's a democracy. Real
Correct.
Madrid's a dictatorship.
Correct. So the club is owned by socios, the same way as Barcelona. The requirements to run for president are stringent. Candidates must have been members for at least 20 years and provide a personal bank guarantee worth 50% of the club's budget. So that's why, again, it's almost impossible. So that's what I was about to say. Prior to, and here's a Prez deep dive. Prior to being president of Real Madrid, he was like chairman and CEO of like a massive civil engineering company. And so like he got like all his money from that, and now he's able to run the club. But I'm pretty sure he like he puts his own money into it. It's a little bit different than Barcelona, where like Joan Laporta, I'm sure there's got to be some finances you got to put up front, but it's not just like in England where it's like, oh, we just got new owners, they have more money. But
Yeah.
Go back to your point saying that regarding the election.
No, just that I think I saw that he that there may be people now willing to step up and run. So
Yeah.
for him, it's this whoever he hires next is literally gonna be there for at least a year. Like they're not getting fired mid-season because they will have all of the power.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where, like with Xabi Alonso, you almost felt like, in my eyes, again, right? If I was Perez, if I was the club, and if obviously things weren't going their way necessarily, right? But at the same time, like if you're not going to give him all the power, you know what I mean? In that sense, and like really back him, like who will you? And I guess Mourinho would be, but it's like Xabi Alonso was like the perfect project manager, club legend, like the status, the whole thing. So it's kind of one of those weird things where you're looking at it and it's like, well, who's better fit? Like I don't know if this is even something he'd agree to, but like I really would go back and be like, hey, we fucked up. We're about to sell half the team. You'll have to deal with Mbappe, but I don't know. I don't know. That was part of also the Valverde Tchouaméni fight. Tchouaméni gave shit to Valverde and said like, you're the reason we're in this mess because you're one of the reasons why we fired Xabi Alonso. He actually backed Xabi Alonso, which is interesting. And Tchouaméni played this weekend, by the way, so he didn't even face a suspension, which looking back, I don't really think it's his fault. Valverde's in the wrong. Tchouaméni put in a bad tackle at practice, but that's a bad tackle at practice. That's you deal with it, you talk about it, and you deal with it. Valverde kept trying to like reciprocate and go after him, extended it another full day, brought it into the next training session, and then confronted him in the locker room. So like at some point, right? Like if Tchouaméni, I don't know, again, whoever has that footage of what happened is going to be a billionaire of how it actually went down. But like at some point, if you're Valverde, it's like, you're supposed to be the captain of the team, man. It's a bad look. That's a bad look. I don't know. It's very, very immature. Yeah, we can move on. Sorry, Pooch. And Pooch is scared to talk against Florentino Perez.
I don't know what he's gonna do to my family.
Yeah, that's very fair. Or Valverde.
You're a coulier, so like you're already on a list.
Right.
Me personally, I'm neutral in this. I'm more pro Barca because, like you said, they're more democratic, less dictatory. But I don't want to be put on a list because you at least have all the couliers around you to protect you. I'm just out. I'm in the woods. I'm by myself. I'm trying to find my La Liga club.
I'm almost willing to put you back on the Barca bandwagon. I'm almost willing. I'm willing to reach my hand out the way Real Madrid should do to Xabi Alonso and maybe bring Pooch back, because I enjoyed having a fellow Cuyed with me. I don't really have anybody in my life that's also a Barca fan. Like, I know some people are like, oh, I like Barca. Or like, oh yeah, I'm a Barca fan, but they're very like distant. No one who's a close friend. Somebody
I sent you a Barca TikTok today.
Did you? Oh yes, this morning you did. Yes, that was awesome. Give me 24 hours. Give me till the next episode to see if maybe this is a fit for us moving forward. If you're interested still. I don't know if you're interested in jumping
I'm
back
interested. On. Doesn't mean I'll join, but yeah, I'm of course interested. They're the best team in La Liga. They just won the league. Handily too.
Yeah, I mean, that was the best part about, and we'll get into it. We'll get into it when we get there.
Yeah.
The game. Obviously, this is gonna be a fun episode for me. Southampton spying scandal. So, Pucci, put this down. I didn't see this.
Yeah. So I found this out after watching the most boring championship promotion games this past weekend.
Yep.
Legitimately fell asleep during both of them because that's how boring they were. I think they're both 0-0s. But Middlesbrough came out after the game and basically said like, hey, we caught like 4 or 5 Southampton like coaching staff analysis guys like watching our practices and videotaping it. And then on top of that, also, I believe, I don't know the exact number of the report I read, but it was in the teens of teams that have come forward during this season saying the exact same thing that Southampton has done. And then the coach got asked that after the game. He was like, hey, they were like, or maybe it was before the next leg of the promotion.
Sure.
Basically, the head coach was interviewed and it was like, hey, so all of these people are coming out and saying that you guys are spying on them. Do you have any, what is your response? And he gave a good response.
Okay.
If it was radio and all you couldn't see his body language. The video, he's guilty as hell. Like he's like, you could see him swallow right beforehand. He's looking down the entire time. He's like fiddling with his arms, like he can't stay still. And it's like, dude, you're guilty. Yep. So I don't know if anything will come of it, but I just wanted to. It was something that I saw where I was like, wow, that's kind of crazy.
Wasn't there another team that did this? I mean, I know like in like Spygate, I knew that, but like I feel like there was another team in footy that did this, and I feel like it has to do with Jose Mourinho. I know that I don't know if
it might have been a Jose team at like Real or something.
That's
like
what
that.
I think.
Don't know.
Jose Mourinho
spying. Vaguely familiar.
No. Was it a Chelsea thing? I feel like there was like a thing where like a team was flying drones. Oh, was it it was a Sarri thing.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, it was on Bielsa. Sarri on Bielsa spying.
Yes.
That was it. So Chelsea manager Maurizio Sarri joked. Chelsea manager Maurizio Sarri joked that he doesn't have any good spies amid Marcelo Bielsa admitting to spying on Leeds championship opponents this season. That was it. I remember there was something with. Oh, yeah. Let me tell you something.
Once again, if Leeds didn't get charged for, I doubt Southampton will.
Yeah,
but then
it's
again,
be pretty bad.
But then again, Leeds won, so they didn't go right back to the championship. And if Southampton doesn't win, and they stay there, there may be some repercussions next year.
Here's my view on any spying. At the end of the day, like, listen, in sports, like everyone knows about like the college football, like Michigan. What was his name? Connor Stallions, right? Was that his name? Yeah.
Yeah, he's a hero.
Anyway, everyone knows about him and like what he was doing. I watched that documentary, and honestly, some of it, the bad stuff is you're not allowed to go to a game and film or something like that, right? Is that what he was doing? He was sitting at the 50-yard line. Oh no, he was getting on sidelines. He was officially getting on the field.
I think so, yeah.
A lot of what he did, though, if you look up leading up to it, was insane. He was watching game tape on TV, which you're allowed to do. Anything that's put on TV, you obviously can watch. And what he was doing is he was just literally writing down their hand signs, because in college football for plays, they don't have the headset. They do hand signs or they hold up signs or whatever.
Well, they have the headset, but it gets like the NFL, it's like a 25-second cutoff.
Right.
And college football, it's like 10 or 15 seconds.
Okay.
So that's why if you want to call like an audible or something, that's why the hands are more prevalent in college.
Well, they also, in college football, they barely huddle. So a lot of times it's a very quick, so you see like 2 or 3. He was just watching these games in the tape. And yes, like he was just watching it's usually like the backup quarterbacks. You see them in like different color shirts. And he was just literally writing down everything they did. And then, yes, part of the issue is the sharing of it. Listen, if you're going to dedicate and be that dedicated to it, I'm with it, right? Like as long as it's fair, as long as everyone kind of has resources to do it. But yeah, man, like if you have like a drone or something flying over practice, you're really like sitting in the bushes, like that's some soft shit. That's some really soft shit. Like you should just lose the game on that, because you just told me like you're not whatever.
I also don't really think it matters as much in
I
like
agree.
it matters more in football than it
Yes.
does, or American football than it does
Yes.
in like soccer football,
Right.
because like the games are just, there's no set plays besides maybe if you're
Correct.
sitting there filming like set pieces or something like that. But even that, like the training ground for the most part, you're like at this point in the season, you're not like being like,
Right.
hey, let's figure out something new to do. Like you're just
Right.
going to be running the same set pieces, most likely with maybe a small like tweak.
100%. But it's just bad. Like, what do we, especially like you said, the other thing is like a game like football, it is that important because like the plays, like, right, like whether they're running, whether they're passing. In soccer, it's like you're really watching their tactics. You'll figure out their tactics in the first 5 minutes of the game. Legitimately, the first 5 minutes, right? And like, you know, nowadays they have
The only thing might be like if you're sitting there and you see like a 3-5-2 and they've been playing a 4-4-2 all year and you're like, huh, that's interesting to take back. But like that also doesn't mean they're going to use a 3-5-2 day of.
Well, exactly. And the other thing that is funny is you get the lineup an hour before the game. It's not like they walk on the field and you're like, whoa. Which this is something I've always found interesting with coaches is like, at what point when you're in training do you stop training your like how much adapting do you do to the other team, if that makes sense? Because at some point you have to have your own tactics, your own game plan. So it's like if, say, me and Pooch are playing a game against each other, right? And I'm like, all right, we got Pooch FC this weekend, big match. We need to make sure like we're ready for what they're going to do. They play a 3-5-2. They do this, that. But Pooch on the other side, and Pooch FC is probably sitting there like, well, you know, EFC, they love a 4-3-3 and this and that. So we're going to change to a 4 in the back to match them in the midfield. You know what I mean? And like now I've switched to your 3-5-2. Like at what point are you just like, I'm going to do my own thing?
I think it just depends on where you are. So like a team like a Brentford, because I watched the City game this weekend. They started with like a 4. I think they started with a 4 in the back.
Okay.
Which they normally play 3, or it was vice versa. It was something where it was like they don't
made
normally
a change.
do. It was to change because City are that good where it's like this is our best shot at getting a point. But when they go travel to like an Everton or Crystal Palace, they're just going to do their normal formation because they know that can get like. So I also think it just has to do with opponents when it comes to changing your tactic. But I'm sure most coaches have like a plan A and a plan B tactic where it's like plan A is what we'll run 80% of the year. Plan B will practice a decent amount, but we'll only need it in like a 20%.
It's just interesting.
Situation.
It's something I've always thought because we talk about game plan, we talk about tactics and like, oh, this is how we're going to adapt to this. And like, I've always just thought it's like, at what point are you like going too far in?
I think it's, if anything, like it's less about the formation and more about how you're going to tell a player what he's going to do. Like, for example, like I think it was Hickey was on Doku this weekend for Brentford City.
Lewis Potter.
So, but you're going to basically you're going to go to him and be like, hey, whatever formation we're playing doesn't really matter. All your job is make sure he gets to the touch line. Like, don't let him cut inside. Like, that's your goal. And then offensively, like, bomb up the way. Like, I'm sure there's more intricacies and it's not as like brute as what I just said, where it's just like 2 tactics, a slap on the ass, go get him, Tiger.
Right.
But like, I think when it comes to like the week in, week out stuff, like there's definitely players like coaches in La Liga being like, not only do you want to put Yamal on his right foot, but you want to make sure that he doesn't have that back pass. So literally shepherd him.
Right.
Like I think there are certain things like
it
even
is probably
center
more like
mids, where it's more on, hey, this is the guy you're going up against this week. He loves to do XYZ. He's bad at ABC.
Right.
So this is how we're going to attack that player individually.
Yeah. Also, probably just and last point on it will be just like little intricacies. Like for instance, like Luis Enrique doing like having his goalkeeper kick the ball out on that side right?
Yeah.
Like with the whole Elise thing, right? Like out of bounds on that side. So it's probably like little intricacies again. And
Mhm.
also, like you said, but moving on. So Como will have guaranteed European qualification. So they'll be playing one, probably Champions League. But I saw this as well. So I think, what is it? It's because of UEFA rules. They're not going to
Yeah.
potentially not be able to host in their current beautiful, incredible home ground. I think they'd have to play at MyPay. I don't know what team. What team
They
wears
have to
MyPay? That's a
play.
green team.
They have to play in Sassuolo
That's it. That's
or
exactly.
Udinese.
Is that
Both are
just 'cause
about
they're
a
the
6-hour
closest?
drive. Yeah, that are in the regulation, like the UEFA. So I read the whole article, and what it basically said was not only like one of their stands right now, the away stand is basically being held up by scaffolding.
Nice. As it
So they
should.
need to get that fixed. There are other there are a lot of minor things. But then also the field length. When Cesc Fabregas first came in, they increased the width by 1 meter,
Okay.
but it still needs to be increased by like 6
Length.
meters to
To
meet
be UEFA live.
UEFA.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and the stadium, obviously, you've seen it. It's like they don't really have a lot of maneuvering room.
Right.
The whole reason why they were able to do what they've done now, because technically it's not even up to like Serie A regulations, and like they've been every year kind of building on to get to that,
Mhm.
is basically because Serie A was like, dude, we're not gonna fine you guys. Like you guys
Well-
are good. Like you're fine. You guys are clearly trying to make the renovations.
Right.
Like I'm not gonna do it, but they basically were like, yeah, UEFA is much more stringent than Serie A would
Yeah.
be. So like you have to do it.
Yeah. Well, that's the tricky part too. Is like you said, is like a lot of times what happens with teams that come up. Like I think even in the Premier League, like Luton Town, I'm sure that their stadium is okay, but I don't know. Like you got to give them a little bit of grace period to also get their stadium up
Yeah.
to par, because like that's not something you could do in the summer, right? Like if you get say on the final day of the playoff, you get in, and by the summer you need to make 15 changes. Like you can't do that in the summer, so they have to give a little bit of grace. But that makes sense, at least with the UEFA side. Like UEFA's like F you. But all right. We'll see what they end up doing there. World Cup rosters are starting to be revealed. So I saw this today. I think Bosnia came out today. Today is Monday. So
Yeah.
for those listening yesterday.
I think it was Bosnia and DR Congo.
Okay.
And my theory on why those two are getting announced first is basically because it's already
Yeah.
locked. There's 22 good players. They're like, yeah, we know exactly who's going.
%. When I saw that today, I thought the same thing. I was like, well, that's early. But I'm like, they could have told you in January. They could have told you when
Yeah.
they qualified who's going to be there.
Yeah.
You know. So I'm looking right now just to confirm. It looks like, well, and then I think Brazil released like a preliminary list, which is interesting because Estevao did not make it.
Really?
Dinko.
No. He has a grade 4 tear.
Does he actually?
Yeah, he is. He got, I forget who they were playing, but like a few weeks ago, he had to get sent, like taken off. He has
Okay.
like a crazy injury.
I didn't know that. So yeah, so he is not in the preliminary list, but I saw another headline. Neymar right now is in a position that it looks like he will be making the team. He has been, for those that don't know, right? We spoke about Neymar a couple weeks back, maybe even a couple months back. Neymar at that point, like he was struggling to play games, this and that. He is now like been on a tear in the Brazilian league. He has really turned it up. So good to see for him. I would give me one last ride with Neymar.
He's gonna go. I mean, I think we've been saying it for months. They're not gonna leave out Neymar,
especially with like the fans. You know what I mean? Like the fans want Neymar.
I got a story for you during the 1994 World Cup that's very similar to the Neymar one.
Okay.
So,
yeah, we'll leave it for that then.
Yeah.
Cool. But it is the most exciting time when you start seeing the World Cup rosters revealed, and especially for some of the bigger nations. Like I remember a couple of years ago for Spain, Luis Enrique left a spot open, didn't bring Sergio Ramos. He didn't bring a single Real Madrid player. So like seeing like, oh my God, who do they bring? Who they're not taking? Things like that. Always gets fun and competitive. I wonder who Italy will bring. Okay. Yeah. You wrote this one down here, and this was a good one. So James Rodriguez is going to be available in the next 2 weeks for Minnesota United. And then his career with the Minnesota United will be over. He will be leaving the club. He'll be playing in the World Cup. He'll be leaving the club. He played for Minnesota. Congratulations to Minnesota United for James making like maybe three appearances.
Yeah, I think he ended up with 6. I think I'd be super pissed if I was a Minnesota United fan,
Oh
and
my
actually
God.
anybody associated with not even just the fans, but like the ownership
Yep.
and like the front office, because it's not like it's the transfer window right now where you can just go out and get another like designated player, because that's what he was, and those spots are so valuable in the MLS where you're just like, it's like now you're like, well, we just used a spot on a guy who is a serial, I'm going to leave my team high and dry type of fella. So
Yeah.
I also think we said when he signed that James Rodriguez in Minnesota makes zero sense. So
Yeah. Just,
it doesn't shock me that he left, and I don't think it should shock really anyone.
yeah.
But yeah, he's gone. See ya.
What's crazy is, so his most recent game against Austin FC, he played 27 minutes. He had 2 assists.
Yeah.
Other than that, he
like,
has not done literally anything, like at all. I'm looking at all of these games. Like he's done nothing. Yeah, that's James. That's talking James. Good for him. Thank God. I don't know if you remember, there was a chance that he was never going to play again. Have you ever seen that?
wait, he still plays?
You know what I'm talking about, though? The WhatsApp group.
Oh, the Everton one? When he was
No,
at Everton and they were saying he transitioned?
yes. One of the
Yeah.
best messages. That's footy. Let's move into it. We'll get into some of the news regarding some of these teams as we get into the games, but we have a fun one here. We are going to be doing Pooch's World Cup review, the 1994 World Cup, the last one in the United States, an iconic one, I would say. Like maybe I don't know. Maybe it's just because it was in the U.S. that I remember it, or at least have always known like kind of what happened here. But I'm excited to hear some of the details here from Pooch. So as always, we're going to turn it over to him. I am going to mute myself now.
Yeah, thanks, E. 1994 World Cup was iconic, but probably not for anything soccer related, really. It was a lot of extracurricular stuff. So jumping into it, like you mentioned, World Cup in the U.S., first time they ever held it in the U.S. U.S. had only made the World Cup twice since World War II before this, and they had no professional league. So there was a lot of backlash to the point where they barely beat out Morocco to even get this World Cup, because a lot of people felt like the U.S. didn't care about it or about soccer in general. There's no professional league. And it's not like this team is like always making the World Cup. They're kind of just ass. So the opening game was a unified Germany we're seeing for the first time. They actually won 1-0.
Congratulations to them.
But to kind of set the scene for what's going to happen in this World Cup, during the pre-game, like I guess ceremony, Oprah fell off the stage and twisted her ankle. There was another person, I forget who, that was a celebrity, who happened to try and score a goal from about 3 yards out and just completely whiffed and missed the goal. And then to make matters worse or better, depending what side you fall on in terms of Orenthal James Simpson, his chase was going on during this game as well.
Yes. Well, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Famous.
Yeah.
There was a very famous day during this whole thing, which was
Yeah.
the chase. And for those who are Knicks fans, the Knicks were playing. This is the game where Ewing misses the layup. I think the Rangers were in the Stanley Cup at the same time.
Yeah.
In the World
Against
Cup going
the
up.
Kings. Yeah.
Yeah. No. The Canucks.
Canucks,
We lost
who
to the Kings in
cares?
I did. We lost in, I think 2014, 2015 to them. But anyway.
Yeah, so another little fun fact is Julian Havlange, who was the former president of Brazilian soccer in like the 60s, 70s, who is now the FIFA president. His son actually became Brazilian soccer president in 89, but due to constant allegations of bribery and money laundering, in 2019 he was actually banned by FIFA so that he could never be involved with the sport again. That's also a little foreshadowing for his father, if you don't know about his father. So Argentina did not auto-qualify for this World Cup and actually had to recall a 33-year-old out-of-shape Maradona, who we will get into later. England and France also failed to qualify for this World Cup. So that's why I was saying, like, the quality, maybe not as good.
Just want to jump in here. So we've been hearing this guy Havlange's name a bunch. What is his first name?
Julian? Jules?
Zhao. His name is Zhao.
Zhao. Well,
You've been
English
calling
it
him
translates
Julian?
to Julian. King
Okay.
Julian.
Okay.
England and France failed to qualify once again, why I was like, kind of like the footy probably isn't there because you have two of the top nations not being there. Colombia. So we're going to get into a little bit about Colombia here, people. Colombia beat Argentina to qualify. So remember how I said Argentina didn't auto qualify? It's because Colombia beat them. When Colombia beat them, they celebrated so hard, 80 people died in Bogota.
Casual Tuesday night.
Just a casual Tuesday night in Bogota. They played a brand of total football, so kind of like we've mentioned, like that passing, that Barcelona-esque type of style. However, this was kind of seen as a sin in South America because it really relied on more of the team and the passing and all of that compared to that samba or that flair that South Americans really like to play with. But it helped them because they weren't as good of a team. They also had an issue, well, most of the team had an issue with getting entangled in the drug cartel somehow.
Understandable.
So,
Happens.
yeah, happens. Colombia, you're going to get involved in the drug trade somehow. Rene Higuita, the guy who does the scorpion kick for people that don't know, the famous scorpion kick. He actually, so the owner of his club was a cartel boss. That cartel boss's daughter got kidnapped by Pablo Escobar. So the cartel boss asked Rene to send him $300,000 to ransom his daughter back from Escobar,
Nice
which
guy.
he did. He was like, "Yep, fair." The drug lord was so happy that he gave him like $64,000 back, just being like, "Thank you so much for like
wow.
getting my daughter back."
64 on top of the 300 that he loaned
I
him?
believe so. I believe so.
Okay.
Like, I
'Cause
think
to
it
be
was a
so-
loan. Yeah.
Okay, to be so happy that you actually underpay someone to return. I mean,
Yeah, no. I
wish-
think it was like on top. However, Rene was jailed for 7 months. And it wasn't like he was charged with anything. They just threw him in jail for 7 months. And then they released him because he was
fair.
because they said that he profited off kidnapping.
Huh.
So
Okay.
yeah, he was
Okay.
in jail for 7 months. Therefore, when he gets out, it's like a few months before the World Cup. And at the time, he was like one of the big names in European soccer as like a goalie. So like he's like one of like the stars of the world in terms of like goaltenders. It would be the same thing as like a João Garcia today, or I'm trying to think like a Donnarumma, like somebody who is like a
Yeah.
big
Well,
stature at goalkeeper.
For those that don't know him, it wasn't just the square. Like he played with flair. Like he was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a winger playing goalkeeper. Like he was always doing like crazy shit in goal. So
he
it
was
was
really
more than
one of
just
the
goalkeeper.
first. Yeah, he was one of those first sweeper keepers. But like he did more than just like, let me just come out of my box 25
Right.
yards and boot the ball. It was, let me do a Cruyff turn on this striker that's running at me.
Yes.
So he comes out of jail. It's a couple months before the World Cup. He's so out of shape and he tried to get ready. He just couldn't. So that's already a bad sign for Colombia because he's not in the World Cup. Their starting goalkeeper, one of the best in the world, isn't going. This Colombia team was nicknamed the Narco team.
I wonder why.
And yeah, it's actually kind of sick that they had a nickname, and actually a hard ass nickname too. The Narco team's a hard ass nickname. They lost game 1 to Romania and then game 2 to the US when Andres Escobar let in an own goal to lose.
Yes.
Not only that, but a starting midfielder, I believe his last name was Garcia, and the head coach was given a note pre-game in the locker room saying
Right.
if Garcia played, they would kill him, his family, and the coach's family. So Garcia hopped on literally just left the locker room, hopped on a plane to go back home to be with his family. That was during the U.S. game. So Colombia were the first team eliminated because they lost to the U.S., even though they were one of the pre-tournament favorites. So they were one of the favorites going in. And then sadly, Andres Escobar was killed 10 days after that game in Medellin by narcos traffickers. So basically the
Yes.
story goes, he's walking out of a bar because he was getting verbally accosted by a lot of people saying that he blew the World Cup. So he was like, screw this, I'm leaving. So he goes to his car. There happens to be one of these narco traffickers in the back seat. He sees it, gets out. They shoot him dead in the street. And it killed Colombian football basically up until James Rodriguez came back. So yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on, Italy decided also that they were going to try this new passing total football style. It's the 90s. It's taken over the world. Total football. Once again, the country hates it. They are like, we are a defensive team. What are you doing? Like, this isn't the Italian way. And yeah, it did help them. Like, they got all the way to the finals in this World
Right.
Cup because they played that way. They played a higher line. The players also helped. They had some great legends there, which we'll get into. Yeah. Moving back to one of the GOATs himself, Maradona. So it's been 4 years since he won or lost Italia 90. He's had a wild 4 years. So he's gotten arrested multiple times for coke possession and distribution and this is all linear. So like timeline wise, what I'm about to say is all linear. He gets arrested multiple times for coke possession and distribution in Argentina. Basically, the government that was in charge was coming under fire, and they were like, we can't be friends with you anymore and let this slide. So what he did was he went to rehab. He said he wanted to get better. Then he went to, after rehab, Sevilla, because his coach, the Argentinian national team coach, where he went to 2 World Cup finals with, was there. He got painkiller in his leg one day, and the coach took him off fairly early. And as he's leaving the field, Ethan, tell me if this is okay to say. If it's not, we can cut it out. He called his coach a hijo de puta.
It's okay. And we can say that.
Okay. So he called his coach a hijo de puta, and then Sevilla released him. And then what he did was he went directly back to cocaine usage.
Understandable.
Up until his daughter found him in the bathroom on all fours, doing a line off the toilet.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Wait, we can't just gloss. That's a tough one.
Yeah, it's a real tough.
Wait, I just want everyone to take a second to picture this.
He's on all
fours, ripping a line off the toilet seat is.
I mean, it didn't say it like I just said it, but like the way that it was written, it was that boy was on all fours and his daughter walked into the bathroom and like he had white all over his nose when he looked up.
Wait, let's break this down real quick. Why was the toilet seat the preferred spot? There's no counter.
I don't know.
There's no sink. You couldn't just throw a little on the finger.
His daughter's home, so I don't know if he was worried she was gonna. I mean, she ended up walking in on him in the bathroom. But,
yeah, that's one of those things that he probably really thought through and thought this is the best way to do this. And then she walked in, and that just he just did not think to lock the door.
Well, I think we're also forgetting. He probably was also high on coke.
Correct.
When he thought of the plan.
Fair.
So it wasn't like he was a sober guy and he was like, "This is great." He was probably strung out of his mind. He was like, "Dude, I got to do it on the toilet. Like it's the safest option."
Let's get a ChatGPT. Create an image of Diego Maradona on all fours, ripping a line off a toilet seat with his daughter walking in with like a YouTube thumbnail type of face, like a.
Yeah. Oh God. So it doesn't stop there.
No.
He ended up going to his parents' house to get clean.
Oh my gosh, he's like 30, 40 years old and he's at his parents' house.
Yeah. Well, he at the World Cup 94, he's only 33, and this is like a year beforehand, so he's like 32 at this point.
Totally fair. Can always go home.
Yeah. So he got clean at his parents' place and started playing for Newell Old Boys. And during that time, once again, he kind of gets into a fight with his team and coaches, and they release him. The only thing is Argentina, like I mentioned earlier, didn't qualify directly for the World Cup. So they had to play another qualifying round. And you know how like all these people say that when they go to Camp Nou when Messi was playing, it was like you walking out in all years, Messi, Messi. Basically, all the Argentina fans, any single time within those 4 years, because Argentina wasn't great, they just were chanting Maradona because they knew he was a drug addict, but they were like, we want him on this team so bad. So he goes to the World Cup, plays in game 1, does decent. Game 2, I believe he scores a goal or gets a goal and an assist, something like that. And there's this famous photo of him walking away with one of the medics hand in hand. He's cheering the crowd on, and they go back. And of course he has to do a piss test because it's like, how did this guy just do that? He did not test positive for cocaine. I want that on the record.
Good for him.
He tested positive for PEDs.
Fuck. Understandable.
Yep. So he was suspended for the rest of the tournament and actually never played for Argentina again. That's the end of Maradona in the World Cup history.
Damn.
So a wild 12 years or 16 years of just Maradona on top. And then little bits and pieces here. Bulgaria went all the way to the semis after beating the Unified and Germany. who was also the defending champs in the quarterfinals. So kind of a good run for Bulgaria. Brazil had a pressure-filled tournament, but led by Romario and Bebeto. They made it to the finals. In that finals, a lot of people may know this, but Franco Baresi basically tore his knee up early in the game, but played the entire 120 minutes or 90 minutes plus PKs because
That's fucking
this game ended
sick.
up going to PKs. I mean, he's considered widely one of the best center backs of all time. But the game ended 0-0, went to a penalty shootout where Roberto Baggio told Baresi, he was like, I'm not going first. So they put him last. And
Okay.
then Baresi hit over the bar. Two other Italians had theirs saved. So then it comes down to Baggio, and he infamously knocks it over the bar. And Brazil won on PKs to win this World Cup. One last little note here, revenue and attendance wise, it was the most successful World Cup of all time, 1994.
Okay.
My guess is this upcoming World Cup in 26 will knock those out of the water.
Yeah.
But those two metric wise, it's the best World Cup ever assembled. And then it also led to the creation of the MLS. Right after this, basically, I think people saw, I guess, in charge saw that like there is an appetite for soccer in the US.
For
so
sure.
the MLS was born. This World Cup in general, I believe I have 7th on my list.
Okay.
2, 4, 6. Yeah, 7th. Only because there was a lot of fun stuff that happened, but the soccer wasn't really a lot. Like what I just went through, like there wasn't really any like massive moments where I was like, oh my God, it was the battle of such and such or whatever.
Yeah. Enough with your battles.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like there was nothing like notable in terms of games besides the final where it was a 0-0 and somebody skied a PK over to win it. So, yep, that was
Yeah.
1994.
There you go. Well done there, Pooch. That was a fun one. There's like multiple documentaries about this World Cup. There's like the one, I think it's called The Two Escobars, and
Yeah.
it's about Andres Escobar and obviously Pablo Escobar. I think there's one just about World Cup 94.
Well, there's going to be another one coming out from Classes Permanent 1994 World Cup in about 2 months.
Pooch has been working very hard. If you guys haven't seen it, he's dropped, which YouTubes? You have 1954 and do you have 58 out too?
54 is out right now. Go on
Okay.
YouTube to watch it. 58 comes out Wednesday, 10
Okay.
a.m. Eastern Central Time.
Standard, Eastern Standard.
I know. I was gonna say if you picked up on that or not.
No, yeah, I'm big on that.
You're tuned up.
Yeah, you like that little alley-oop I threw you there to a little
Yeah,
self-promo?
no, my plan for anybody that's wondering is that I'm gonna release these every Sunday and Wednesday.
Okay.
So just be on the lookout for those. 58, 62, 66, and 70. I'm gonna try this week to record so that we can kind of get those out to the people.
Good stuff. We'll definitely go and support that. I think, and just for those who probably listened to the episodes already, it's not just a clip of the episodes. Pooch has added B-roll images. It's its own like separate YouTube video. I think he goes a little bit more in depth. It's a little bit more polished up. So if you maybe missed one of those or just like, you know what, let me support Pooch. It's obviously supporting the account. It's on our official YouTube page. Go
and subscribe.
Yeah, well done. Let's jump into a pretty packed weekend recap. We'll start as always in the Premier League. First game I had here was Liverpool draw Chelsea 1-1. I was gonna say
I watched this
I
game.
almost
It
wanted
was
to
a
skip this.
snooze fest, dude. Oh.
Yeah.
Talk about two cheeks of the same ass. These teams both suck this year. These two teams both are either, the players are either, hey, we're on the beach, or hey, I just don't want to get hurt for the World Cup.
I mean, at this point,
maybe less so Chelsea because they still are trying to qualify for Europe, but
yeah,
Liverpool, it's just pulling teeth watching them.
Yeah, I mean, both of these teams are just like you said, kind of ass. Moving on then, Sunderland draw United 0-0. Another. I mean, I don't think anyone watched this game.
Sadly I watched part of it.
Good guy, Pooch. Do you want to give anything about the game?
What you said was perfect.
Yeah, I was gonna say I kind of watched the highlights of all these games just so if we do bring it up, I have something to like talk about. You know what's bad when the man of the match or on both sides is their goalkeepers. Ruben Ruffs.
I saw somebody compare Le Mans to Aaron Ramsdale at Arsenal. They said, and just something to note, like, because I have to watch it too. where they said he makes really easy saves look difficult.
He's
Like
one of
that
those
type of deal.
goalkeepers.
Yeah, so I saw it and I haven't seen a game, like it was after the game.
Yeah.
So I want to put it on your radar too to
Yep.
see if I see something, I want you to see something too.
Yep.
So
Yeah. There's definitely a, what's the word? Maybe it's archetype. I don't know, of goalkeepers that
Yeah.
do this type of shit. I don't know what their equivalent is.
I would say the S tier of it is Jordan Pickford.
Yeah, but yes. Yeah. Pickford
Where
definitely
it's
does.
like Pickford is actually really good, but he does it a lot where
Yep.
you watch him and you're like, oh, that looks so difficult. And then on replay, you're like, well, not really. But then he also just is an incredible, like he makes incredible saves
Right.
too. Like Aaron Ramsdale, I think is like the median of that, where you're
Okay.
like, he's good enough to where like you sit there and you're like, yeah, of course he makes these really tough saves or really easy saves
Yep.
look tough. But also at the same time, he does every once in a while pull a rabbit out of a hat and like make an incredible save. And then the bottom of the barrel, I don't know, Mads Hermansen. I have zero
Okay.
clue.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can't speak on Hermansen, but sure. Man City beat Brentford 3-0. Jeremy Doku, beast. Yeah, that once I saw him score, I was like, all right, I'm done here. I have nothing else on this game. You wrote corruption.
I thought we were writing corruption for every game.
All right. Well, as you can see, the things are going to get heated soon. I don't know what it is about Pep. Put this in one of our group chats, but like he always takes these left wingers that like halfway through the year look kind of like and all of a sudden they just like cook. Like Jack Grealish, like towards the end of seasons, has been huge for them. Doku, I'm missing somebody here. Oh, I mean, I guess Foden. It's not really a great example, but like Foden at points, it's just like funny. It's like it's never the right-sided player. Maybe that's just because like for a while it was Bernardo Silva. It's always the left winger. It's kind of like you're like, oh, this guy's kind of ass, and he just starts to cook. Also, Marmoush, way too good to just be sitting on the bench all the time over there today. Just something I thought when I saw him this weekend. He should be coming to Tottenham or Barca because I like him and he's fast. Anything else on this game, Pooch? Yeah, I didn't really have much here. All right, Palace draw Everton 2-2. Next game.
This was one of the games that I watched.
Okay.
It was actually a super exciting game because they were playing very back and forth. Like you could tell both teams were going for the win. I felt like Everton are just right now in this perpetual state of like fuck.
Yeah.
Just like, God damn it. Like we keep getting so close and to wins and not pulling it out. And then Palace, it's like they're just literally mailing it all in to try and get that Europa League where and like they played their starter, like most of their starters and
everything.
Their
whole team of starters.
But like you just see the table and it's just like they're drawing closer and closer and closer to the bottom. And you're like, oh man. But
it's going to be so weird to see where everybody finishes in the table. Just because, again, like, I mean, at Chelsea at this point, but like Chelsea could finish this season, realistically speaking, in 15th. They're in 9th right now.
It's a tight league this year.
Yeah, it definitely is. We'll talk about like La Liga too, who's super tight, but like it's crazy because Chelsea are sitting in 9th with 49 points. They've obviously like nowhere near relegation, but like Palace are on 44 points.
Yeah.
So 2 wins, right? Yeah, 2 wins. 2 wins. That's sick. 2 wins and say Chelsea drop all the remaining games. Like Chelsea's in 15th and Palace are, in 9th. Like, just kind of funny how this season's working out here.
I also really quick want to, before we get into probably the 2 games that we're going to talk 45 minutes on.
Mm-hmm.
I watched also Newcastle Forest.
Okay.
Once again, a super exciting game where it was Newcastle was just in charge most of that game. And then Elliot Anderson took the game by the balls with like 10 minutes left and scored a great goal. And shout out to Elliot Anderson, man. I know he's going through a lot, so keep your head up, King.
That's all he's done. I didn't know.
And
Elliot Anderson played for Newcastle.
Yeah, they had to get rid of him a few years back because of PSR.
That's insane. I did not know he played for Newcastle. I think it was Newcastle.
Yeah. Respectfully, though, to Elliot Anderson, he should not be starting for England at the World Cup.
You know what's funny
it should be Kobe Mainoo, Declan Rice, realistically.
I mean, I like Kobe Mainoo.
But then I also, and I know this is going to be a hot topic that we'll probably get more into when the time comes about World Cup rosters and everything. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to skip ahead a bit here. If James Maddison was fully fit the entire season, that number 10 jersey for England is all his. Because Cole Palmer's had an ass season.
Yes.
Phil Foden can't leave. He's just sitting on the bench. He's giving out oranges to guys. You have Morgan Rogers, who had a great start to the year, but haven't heard a peep from him since.
Yep.
I'm trying to think who else. Jude is not a 10.
Right. He's not your creative player.
And not only that, like him and Harry are just going to be standing next to each other most of the game anyway. So honestly, it just like for James Madden, I feel bad for him because I do actually like him as a person and a player. And it just sucks that he had that injury because he would have been the perfect 10 for this England team.
It's so funny you bring that up. And while we're on it, this isn't something we texted about. You must have read my mind because he made today for Spurs. He came back on for the first time, his first competitive game since tearing his ACL in the preseason. The first off, he looked very off it. Like he looked like someone who has not played in 9 months. But it's funny as I was thinking about it, I'm like, damn, it sucks. Like if he was fit, like maybe he'd go on the plane. Like that sucks for him. And I'm like, the more I think about it, like
don't have a 10. They have a lot of 10s. They don't have a good 10.
Well, they don't have like a proper playmaker. Obviously, Harry Kane does a lot of that for them. Fair enough. But like Bellingham, right? Again, may play as an attacking midfielder, right? But he's not a 10, right? In anything, I actually kind of disagree with your point about Bellingham and Kane. I actually think Kane might be one of the best players for Bellingham to play with because Bellingham wants to make runs and Kane is going to open space. So I was just thinking about like who's going to play in that 10 spot. Morgan Rogers has been terrific, like you said, the start of the year, but he's been kind of ass with that Aston Villa team. I still think he's not going to start over Jude, but I think he's going to get a lot of minutes because I do think he'll show class. But yeah, like the more I thought about it, I was like, the other thing I was going to say, James Maddison might be a guy who has a very long career. And the only reason I say this is he gives me like, obviously James Ward-Prowse, and looking back, it's like he sucks. But like all of Maddison's ability is technical and not physical per se. Like he was never necessarily slow, but he was never fast. And it's one of those things where it's like, if he just continues, he can have a very just play as a 10, be your set piece guy, things like that. So something I was thinking about today when he came on, but I totally agree with you. What I'll say about Elliot Anderson, which is funny, is the big links to him this summer are going to be Man City. Supposedly Man City really want him. He's the type of guy, like you said, I think Adam Wharton gets into that team, even though Adam Wharton hasn't had like the same season as Elliot Anderson ahead of him, because Anderson does a lot of what Rice does. Like the team already has what he is, but he doesn't have like the passing range or like the kind of like progressive passing attributes. He's not a pass first kind of player the way like Adam Wharton is. And when it comes to national teams, you only have 26 spots. You're trying to get a little bit of everything in your team. He's going to be on the plane. I can't imagine them leaving him off.
Personally just don't like after watching the Euros 2 years back, like that Kobe Manu Declan Rice connection that those two had throughout the whole tournament was like they were fit each other perfectly the way that they play. So I just personally wouldn't be shocked if those if I was Tuchel, that's who I would start game 1. And if Manu or Rice don't look good, then try Anderson in there for one of them.
Yeah.
I like Wharton to me is kind of the perfect Rice backup at like that 6th position. Like I don't think he'll get a ton of time unless they're up big or Rice needs a sub, but he's good to have on the plane.
Yeah. I know Owen right now. He's in the background. He's
we
going to kill
legitimately,
us. He begs us every week just to make this a segment.
You want to know what we should do?
What should we do?
We should just make a YouTube video of just us going through each one of these teams.
Oh my God, that would be phenomenal.
Once the rosters fully come out, it's just
it should be before the rosters. Because we should make our takes on who should go. If the rosters come out, then it's like, how should they start? Owen just put up for those guys not watching the YouTube. What a novel idea, guys, says the thing. Poor kid every week is like, please stop talking about it. Just make it a segment or make it a separate video. And we will. That's something we need to do on this show a little bit more, because I think the thing me and Pooch love more than anything, listen, at the end of the day, we do the game reviews. We're going to talk about the games. It's obviously it's the hot topic. It's relevant. All we want to sit here, Dan, is just do, and put together lineups. We want to put together lineups. We want to talk about transfers. Like, that's the fun stuff. So maybe we'll turn that show into this, or maybe we'll have a separate show. Let's get into the corruption. West Ham get robbed by Arsenal 1-0. For those that did not see the game, when I referenced corruption, I guess it was like the 96th minute, whatever, like the absolute final seconds. Corner comes into the box. Supposedly, I don't know who the player from West Ham was. A player from West Ham obstructs David Raya.
Pablo.
Was it? It was Pablo?
Yeah.
You have no idea.
No,
Was it Pablo?
Pablo. Yeah.
Okay.
I watched the game.
No, I did too. I watched it.
They gave me about 1 million replays of Pablo's arm all over him.
His arm grazed Raya. Ball falls out of Raya's hands, and then Callum Wilson banged it in. Here's what I'll say to you, Pooch. And I'm going to do my best to be unbiased here, and I hope you could appreciate that. I really try and give unbiased takes. The arm definitely comes across Raya. There's no denying that. In my eyes, based on the letter of the law, that should be a foul. It should. My issue is it has been extremely inconsistent across the Premier League this season, where almost every single team on corners, and I'm sure you saw it on Twitter too, have an instance where either their goalie was interfered with and nothing was called, or the fact that, you know, they had a similar situation where, you know, this was called, but that wasn't, and they had a goal disallowed. Spurs have had a few, just like that's obviously who I know off the top of my head. It gives me, and we've talked about this a little bit with the corners, I'm all about it. You come up with a tactic, you make it hard to defend. I'm all about it. I really am. And I'm a Giants fan. I hate the Eagles, but it reminds me of the tush push, where when you look back at it at times, there's like the refs have admitted it is difficult to officiate. So there needs to be ways that you can make it where you can officiate it, or you have to draw a line. On that same play, you know, there's multiple guys, and I'll tell you, probably on both teams, like hugging and wrestling in the box. It's either it's an everything kind of is fair type of vibe, and you really don't call anything back unless it's like clear and obvious. Or it's all right, we really need, like in the back, I'd even say a season or two ago, probably even last season, like the wrestling in the box would have been a foul, right? Like that was like a very like light thing that they did. They'd tussle a little bit, but like you have guys fully hugging each other in the box. That's where my issue is. The fact that they called it back, I really can't hate the call. I understand it. It's the fact that it's just so inconsistent for every team throughout the year that it gets very frustrating. Because you continue to watch it, and I'm not just talking Arsenal, I'm talking random games. I think it was Spurs Brighton. Vicario comes out, somebody like does the same thing, and literally Gary Neville on Sky Sports goes, "Oh, Vicario's got to be stronger there." And it's just one of those things where you're watching in this game, it's like, oh no, that's a clear obstruction of Raya. And it's like you can't have it both ways. So that's my take on the corruption. It's very frustrating. I feel for West Ham. The result at the end of the day is technically the best result for Spurs. I really wanted the draw. The draw would have been a perfect result for Spurs, keeps Arsenal with 3 points of City. I'm going to step back here and let you rebuttal because I'm unbiased. You hear I'm being unbiased. I was going to come in guns a-blazing, but I decided to step back.
Yeah, my whole game plan coming into this has been thrown off a bit because you did come in unbiased. But what I was going to say, if you came in guns blazing, was I was actually going to give props to you because you have consistently said this season that you would rather Tottenham go down than Arsenal win the league. And I
Which
was
I
just
would.
and I was just going to sit here and be like, you're one of the only people whose voice I respect in terms
Wow.
of saying corruption because you
Okay.
at least consistently have said it. Like you've shown that you have a bias to not a bias, but like a want. You would rather see your own team go down, which I was like, fair. He's standing on business. Like he's going to keep
what we
standing
do.
on business. Fair. I think it's really like 3 things, and not even really to like what you've said, but just to people in general, because I agree with your points about the refereeing in general on set pieces. I do think it is like there is a lot of right now, like you mentioned the Vicario one, like I think that should be it. Like they always say, like if it's on the goalkeeper, like it should be a foul. The thing with the Raya one is Pablo's, you could clearly see the hand, like the arm, not only across the throat and the chest, but also he's holding on to one of his arms.
Cap.
And then on the back, Tolibo is literally pulling the jersey. And then when people sit there and say, well, Rice is grabbing, Mavropanos is grabbing, if you zoom out and you're like, okay, you want to know what? We're going to go with the grabbing instance then. Let's see what the first grab is. On the near post, right as the ball is being kicked, Thomas Suchek is hugging Kai Havertz into the ground, which is the first instance of it. So if you sit there and you say, well, it's that one, like whatever the first one is, we still would get it. I personally believe that it was the correct call. I understand where people are coming from, where they're letting their hatred get in the way. But even Roberto De Zerbi today in his post game against Leeds said 200% it was a foul on the goalkeeper. And when De Zerbi's saying it, as a Tottenham fan, you have to listen.
Can I ask? But I'll let you finish. I'll let you finish before I ask you my next question.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think the game in general, I think the game flipped on its head when Ben White went out with an injury, which is looks like he's done for the year because we had them. And then Arteta made a bonehead decision of bringing in Zubamendi and putting Rice at right back. And he's like our best like, why are you putting our best midfielder at right back? Like just bringing Mascara. He ended up just doing that anyway. But I think that was, I said it in the pre-game thing where that was going to be our toughest task yet in terms of the title, like out of the next three, because Burnley, they don't care, like they're going to play hard, but like it's like they're in 19th. It's not like a West Ham team that's in 18th, but they're
fighting
literally a point below 17th. And then Palace, who like 3 days later have a Conference League final, where once again I think they'll play tough, but I trust us in that game. So yeah, you can ask your question.
Looking back on all of this, are you proud that week in and week out you have to come here and defend your team? Like there's always just allegations every week against someone who's supposed to be a champion and all that. Like, is this a sense of pride? Like, do you feel good about yourself?
So there is a post from an Arsenal fan on Twitter from last season, I believe, or maybe early this season, that states if all other 19 Premier League teams died by mass suicide, or I don't know if I could say that, died by killing themselves. I just said the same thing in
that's
words.
awesome. Well done. Real thesaurus over here.
If all 19 other teams just died tomorrow and Arsenal were automatically gifted the trophy, the Premier League trophy, with an asterisk saying all other teams died, so you guys got this trophy, I would still fucking celebrate it like we won the trophy, because we won the trophy. At the end of the day, 30 years from now, you might remember it, I might remember it, Owen might remember it, but nobody's going to care. All that's going to matter is do you remember Tottenham's trophy wins from like the 60s and 70s? I'm sure, or 80s. Like, I'm sure there was, but from Tottenham's a tough team to do. Barcelona, like from the early 2000s, where it's like every single game there was no corruption in any of the titles that you guys won, or no bad calls or anything like that.
Zero.
It was all clean cut. There's no controversies or anything.
There's one team in Spain that has to answer the allegations and answer to the crimes that you guys also commit. But you're good. No problem. Yeah, align with them. I mean, at the end of the day, and a lot of winning teams and winning fan bases will say, it doesn't matter how you get it as long as you got it. See, I can't stand by that. For instance, Barcelona, they won the league title this week, and one of their posts was, it's not just about how you win.
Wait, hold on. Didn't you guys also like pay off refs in like the early to mid 2000s?
That didn't happen. See, here's the problem.
Hold on. Wait, wasn't there a big case? But that's my point exactly.
Everything was proven incorrect, though. We were proven innocent, so I could stand on business and look at you and be, it was innocent, and we still bowled. Hold on. Just threw a pen at this computer.
And this is the point I'm trying to make, is I even forgot about that. Even though if you guys got let off, fine, fair enough. But even I forgot about that. But you already know that there's still people in Spain that are sitting there going, well, they cheated XYZ, even though if that's not true. I also want to bring up a statistic for you here.
Okay, bring it up.
So I have in front of me the non-VAR. So VAR didn't exist.
Okay.
What every team would be on points. Do you want to guess what would the top three be?
Tottenham would be dead last.
Tottenham is not dead last.
All right. Are we in 18th?
You guys are in 16th.
Okay. Exactly. Most ethical club in all fucking Europe. The team you're saying that would be sorry. So this is who would be first?
Non-VAR points. Yeah. So if VAR didn't exist. So for
Are you trying
example,
to? Is
like
it supposed to be Arsenal? Is that the point?
Arsenal's still first, City is still second, United is still third. The teams that
Good stat. Good stat.
good, yeah. The teams that benefit the most from, or the team that benefited the most from VAR this year, Sunderland so far.
All right. They kind of deserve it. No, it wasn't
Yeah.
them years ago that went down because of it. That was Sheffield United.
Yeah, the three teams that have benefited the least from it, Brighton, who would be in fourth without VAR, Bournemouth in second, who would be in fifth without VAR, and then third would be Tottenham, who would be in 16th without VAR.
Yeah, because we are the most. There was a graph that came out. I didn't actually want to bring it because you were going to be like, "Oh, nerd stat." So I didn't. I mean, you brought yours, so you know what? Here you go. I'll give you even this.
Thank you.
So shameless. You know that? You were so shameless.
Wait, hold on. I have a video for you. Hold on.
I'm holding on. I can't play that.
Oh, fuck. All right. Okay. How about this one?
Got me.
I did. You're mad.
I'm not mad. I just believe in ethical hoops. You're going to answer these crimes one day. I already told you it's going to be the Puchenberg trials. You one day are going to have to go and talk to whoever, Arsene Wenger in heaven, and you're going to have to answer. No, he's probably.
That'd be so sick.
Yeah, and
you
he's going to
kidding
be
me?
like,
That'd be
I cannot
awesome.
believe you supported this. This is not what I wanted. Let's move on to Spurs getting robbed. Spurs draw leads 1-1. Corruption. Mateus Tell banger, but then also gave up a horrible penalty. You know what? I can't even hate him. Sometimes you just got to go for a bike in your own box when you can't see where the player you're defending is. Totally makes sense. This team, this is a word we haven't used recently. This team is full of savants, top to bottom. 1 minute they're banging in goals. The next minute they're just the dumbest play you've ever seen in your life. Leeds penalty. Not that I don't want to call it soft. It's always tricky because it's like it is just an error by Tell. He has no idea that I think it was Ampadu is the one jumping into the box to head it. Like he has no idea he's there. He's making a legal play on the ball, but he obviously does not get the ball. So fair enough. What's funny is so at the end of the game, for those that didn't watch, Madison ends up getting taken down. It's clear contact. He is certainly fouled. The tricky part is it looks like there was like literally a toe poke of the ball, like barely touched it by, I don't know who the defender was for West Ham. I think for Leeds. I think it was Mecca. I don't know how to say his name. Here's my thing with it. Again, right? We talk about lateral, it looks like he does get a touch. So that's why when I saw it, I was like, fuck, this is going to be clean. Spurs have not got a penalty all year. Spurs are the ones that have been the most harshly reffed in the Premier League this year. I'm not going to bring up the graph. If you want it, text me on the side. I'll find you the graph. One of the craziest graphs I've ever seen in my life. Spurs are in the messy zone. That's usually like the top right corner of a graph, and it's about teams that have been refereed the most difficult, have had the most calls called against them, and have had the most should have been calls not given. That being said, I'm not going to say I'm going to take the draw, but a draw is obviously better than a loss. That could have been a loss. But clear corruption this year in the Premier League. I think the refereeing standard has hit the floor. And I do think when it comes to VAR, we say this often, and this was kind of part of my issue with the Raya thing too. And the same thing, the Raya thing they watched for 10 minutes. The Madison thing they watched for about legitimately a minute, and they wrote it off. And it just is clear it. For instance, the Madison thing, it appears he makes contact on the ball, but they watched it for 2 seconds. You can barely get a fucking view of it. The Raya thing they watched for 10 minutes. What does clear and obvious mean anymore? I don't know. That's all I'm saying. Clear and obvious should be clear and obvious. You either let the boys play or you don't. That's my view. But Spurs are still above West Ham, so we'll take it. It was good to see Madison on the pitch. Happy for him. And he looked out of it. He looked like he's been out of the game a minute. He was trying to do a lot of the shit he usually does, and you could just tell it's ooh, Unk is slow. He was trying to dribble by guys, and I was like, brother, you're not getting by him. Just pass the ball, brother. Yeah. Other than that, I have nothing else on the Spurs game. I don't know. Did you watch it?
Yeah. The only thing I had was, I think that we need to get rid of this. Well, I was the first to touch it, so it shouldn't be a penalty type of rule.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most bullshit thing ever. I put something in our group chat that I don't think I could read out because I don't want to get banned from Premier League stadiums regarding it. But basically, you read it and then tell me if you think I could say it or not.
No, you can say that.
Okay, perfect. I'll say it. So what I said was, let me find the group chat. I said, so hypothetical, if I pull out a gun and shoot you in the leg, but my toe touches the ball, it's clean. Like, is that like allowed now? Like, it
I do
just
agree with
so
that.
like I
Yes.
can like go
with,
in
with your
2
sentiment
foot.
not actually being able to do that.
Yeah, like so I can go in 2 foot tackle, legs in the air, but if I touch the ball first and I take out your knees, technically I touch the ball first, so it's not a PK. Like,
Yeah.
what is this dumb? I honestly don't understand. And like, I don't even think it's happened to my team this year, but in general, I've seen it
Congrats.
way too many times where like VAR, like not even VAR, but like they'll show the replay and it's like, well, technically he touched the ball for. When did this rule come into play? Where it's like, if I'm defending and I toe poke the ball, not even like a full, like I have possession of it, but I toe poke the ball, but I also take you out at the same time, that it's like not a pen. My whole life, even
Yeah.
if you touch it, it's a pen because you took out the guy.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
I
where it
get
gets
it if
tricky.
it's like a 50-50 and like you're not, but like the one that Madison had, that's a clear and obvious pen to me.
You know what it
Where
is?
I was sitting there and I was
Yeah.
like, damn, Spurs are going to win this game. And then they were like, that's not, and I was like, honestly, I hate Tottenham, but that should have been a pen. Like, and that's coming
Yeah.
from me where I'm like, that should have been a pen because he toe pokes the ball. He
Right.
barely gets a toenail on it,
Hmm.
but he majority got like James Madison. So I don't know. I just don't like that rule that I feel like they've implemented this year.
Well, I mean, it's always been a thing, right? If you win the ball, you win it. But I feel like the key is it's not touch the ball, it's win the ball. You have to
No,
win the
exactly.
ball. And
Yeah.
I agree with you where
They've
he toe
diluted
poked it. And yes, by poking it, I guess, but like he also, like you said, like he had to step fully across Madison to touch it. And if Madison was not fouled, Madison would have kept the ball. Right? Like
Yeah.
and it's just frustrating. As a Spurs fan, it's just like week in and week out that shit. And then for instance, the Tell, right? Like again, Tell didn't win the ball, but it's like something where in other games I feel like I would have seen it and they would have been like, you know what? Like, oh, not enough contact. But then with Spurs, it's like, yeah, that's a pen. It touched him. Right? Like we're going by the inches of it. But then in this game, it's like, well, he won the ball, so it's not a penalty. Just super frustrating. Spurs and Aston Villa are the only teams in the Prem this year that have not gotten a penalty called for them all year. So Spurs fans are like desperate for a penalty. I don't know why. It's just like a thing like we just need one to say we got one this year. And I think everyone was like, oh my God, James Madison coming onto the field just won us a penalty. And there was a good chance he probably would have taken the penalty too. So it would have been a good storyline. But
I'm low-key glad Aston Villa is there.
why is that?
I just hate Aston Villa. So.
Okay. Aston Villa. Spurs, though, again, it's still a relatively positive result. I feel like for the first 60 minutes of the game, they played decent. And then there was a little bit of time there that Leeds really kicked on. Brendan Harrison on FOMOB, he didn't have a great rating, but I actually enjoyed his cameo, his day today. I thought he played well.
How much did it cost you?
That's silly.
Do the drums.
Yeah, I got you. Let's do the drums. Poor Owen, man.
Wait. Let's redo it.
Okay. Tell me
Say
what.
the cameo thing again.
Yeah, I really liked Brendan Aaronson's cameo today.
How much did that cost you? Oh, fuck.
I'll leave that in there just like that. Yeah, other than that, again, it was a decent result for Spurs. Looking at the table, Spurs are sitting in 17th with 38. West Ham have 36. Spurs' upcoming fixtures are Chelsea next Tuesday, Everton, and then that's it. And then we have club friendlies. But yeah, we'll have to see where that goes. Just again, another frustrating result for Spurs.
Real quick, I want 30 seconds from Owen regarding
let me get it back up here.
Tottenham and the Arsenal games.
Owen, you're
thanks for
live here with the
bringing me
Classes Permanent podcast.
Hey, Owen. Question.
Hey, Pooch, good to see you, man. Yeah.
Good to see you. I have just a quick question here. Dan Capucci, Classes Permanent podcast. Hope you're well. So do you think that Tottenham got the result that they deserved in this game, or do you think they should have gotten more?
Yeah, it's a tough game. It's always tough when you lose out to a call that you feel like you should have gotten. At the end of the day, you can't control the refs. You can play how you play, and at the end of the day, that's really all you can do. Personally, from my perspective, it looked like a penalty to me. I don't want to rehash what everyone else has been saying recently, but the whole, toe grazing the ball, does that really absolve you of the illegal or legal contact? I don't know. I don't think so. Spurs played well. I really do think that. A couple of bad mistakes. Obviously, Tell giving up that pen, a little stupid, but he had a banger earlier, so you can't get too angry at him. I think De Zerbi does have the boys playing nicer footy than we've seen in quite a while. And I'm just going to echo what E said. I'm not going to say I'm happy with the draw. You would have liked to see a win there, but draw's not terrible.
Awesome. Great answer. Another question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Dan Capucci again, Classes Permanent Podcast. Hope the family is well. In regards to David Raya's foul, do you think that's a foul? Do you think it's not? And if so, you're going against your manager, Roberto De Zerbi, who's lifted you up from nothing, and you're turning your back on him now. Does that make you a good fan, a poor fan? How do you feel about all that?
Okay, so two-part question there. I'll attack the first part to begin with. The second that thing goes to review, you know exactly where the calls go, and I just want to leave that there. Whether I agree with the call, whether I disagree, everyone on the planet saw the ref walk over to the screen, and everyone on the planet knew exactly what the outcome was going to be. And after a 10-minute wait, it was exactly what everyone thought it would be. As for the second part of that question, to be honest, I don't even remember what you were asking. You said a lot of borderline inflammatory things. But okay. Yeah, thank you. Please, guys, please. Trying to talk.
On their own, and he's hidden again. Yeah, I agree with Owen. I also want to say, Owen, terrific job. That was as pro interview as you could get. It sounded like he was at like the mic after the game. You know,
we have to do that more. We have to ask Owen interview type questions more.
Ask Admin O, new segment coming soon. Funny enough, talking about new segments, my mom was like, what do you guys like? Because today we flew in from Ohio. She's like, you're still going to do the pod? Like, you're exhausted. And I was like, well, obviously, like, I'd rather die than miss the pod, right? She's like, well, what are you going to talk about in the summer? And I was like, oh, don't you worry. We will find things to talk about. That is no problem.
The summer episodes will probably be our best episodes.
That's actually the thing. I'm like, not even World Cup. I'm just talking about me and Pooch sitting here and naming our favorite players that's names start with A. Like, that'll be a segment.
Arbeloa.
I don't like him.
That was just the first A that popped into my head.
Arda Tudon.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'll never forget when he threw the shoe. Do you remember that?
Adel Turbat.
Nice shout. Asmir Begovic.
Oh.
That's a pull. That's a pull. Oh, I got one.
Alphonso Davies.
Good shout. Ansumani Fati. Ansu. Oh, okay. You're anti-Ansu Fati. Okay. You're off the Barca bandwagon. We will always root for Ansu Fati in this house. Let's move over to La Liga and El Clasico. Barcelona officially win El Clasico 2-0. Rashford with a banger of a free kick. And then Ferran Torres, El Tiburon, with an awesome goal too. Madrid just never looked in this game from the start. And at some point, Barca, it almost felt like it looked like they felt bad for them. At some point, they were just passing around at the end of the first half, just kind of like, we'll just do a rondo with them. I will give some class to the Madrid players, and especially Vinny. After the game, he went over and shook every Barca player's hand, congratulated them. And him with the armband on felt a little bit like, you know, it's like when you give the bad kid in the group like a little responsibility and they start to become a leader, you know?
I think I've always said this about Vinny, that they should get rid of Mbappe before him, because he actually, like, you cut him open and he'll bleed Madrid.
Yeah, well, what's funny is Vinny grew up a huge Barcelona fan. So now, yes. Now that you say that, yes. I mean, he is a Madrid through and through, obviously, at this point. But yes, it is funny because he grew up a huge Barcelona fan. Barcelona was trying to get him when he went to Real, but we weren't paying the crazy amount. Yeah, so Barca win La Liga. It was obviously kind of just a foregone conclusion coming into the match. My favorite thing about Barca and this team is when they win, a couple of traditions have now become a thing. Number one is, I think it's Ferran Torres, Dani Olmo, Pedri, and Eric Garcia get on like essentially city bikes and just ride them through the street at like 2 a.m. just by themselves. There's just videos of them on city bikes riding through Barcelona with the streets empty. The other, and this is the best, Marc Casado and now Alejandro Balde have now joined him. They go out with the ultras and they're in the streets with the ultras just chanting and flares and the whole thing. Their videos are just them in the street, like looking like fans. Marc Casado, he's going to leave Barca this summer. And I'm going to tell you right now, whichever Premier League team signs him is going to get a player. He's a decent player.
Chelsea.
But it might be Chelsea. I think United are interested too, but he is the biggest Barca fan I think I've ever seen that's played for the team. Gavi is maybe number 1, Fermin is number 2, and then it's Casado, or Casado is actually ahead of Fermin. Gavi and Fermin are the biggest anti-Madridistas ever. They just love to dunk on Madrid. Casado is just Barca through and through. So a fun one today. They had the parade, and people were throwing cigarette packs at Szczesny. And some of them he was signing and throwing back, and others he kept. He was also vaping on top of the bus. There was also, at one point, they were going under a tree and they were sitting on top of the bus. They weren't sitting like where like the players stand. They were actually sitting on the top of the bus, like where the bus drives, on top of it. And there was a tree, and you just see as the bus hits the tree, Szczesny and Lewandowski are laying on the bus, Mission Impossible style, and like pop out of it, smiling. So good vibes, very good vibes for the Barca squad. Lamine was chatting up Olivia Rodrigo, OR.
I was gonna say, I was waiting. Oh, jerseys, Rod jerseys.
Lamine was chatting her up. He learned Duolingo just to chat her up. And yeah, it was a good day for everybody, except for
Wait.
Madrid fans.
Do you want to, real quick, in like 30 seconds, let's just have the conversation. I'll be Rod, you be Yamin.
Yeah, we'll do it right now.
Okay. Oh my God, hey, you're not playing?
Hello, I am Lamine Yamal.
I know. You're really, really good, right?
Yes, you driver's license.
Yeah. I do that. I have a new album coming out too. Do you like my music or no?
Yes, you're number 1 singer in my book.
Really? Not Shakira?
No, I know listen Shakira. I like Baboni, and I like Olivia Rodrigo. Driver's license.
Nice. I actually have a island with some midgets if you want to come later.
No, and scene.
And that's scene.
Just so people know, Owen texts us on the side here. Love this, guys. Keep it going. Maybe let's do 17 minutes on this. So we could keep going. Yeah, let's try it again.
I mean, we could keep going.
All right, I'll be Olivia Rodrigo. You be Lamine Yamal now. Oh my God, Lamine, it's so nice to meet you.
El perro lleva los zapatos.
Okay, and scene. Well done. Yeah, good stuff. Always a good day to be a Barca fan. I'm in my kit. And some other big news for Barca is it looks like Gavi, who just came back in March, will actually be making the Spanish national team. So very excited about that. Yeah, so this is where it gets crazy in La Liga. So Sevilla beat Espanyol 2-1. Now, if you've been following along, and we've been kind of talking about Sevilla, we've been talking about La Liga. La Liga right now is definitely the most competitive table, at least on the bottom half, per se. Just to give perspective, coming into this game, I think Sevilla was in 17th. Espanyol was, if I'm not mistaken, I think they were in 12th.
12th.
Espanyol loses. Espanyol are now in 16th. Sevilla have jumped up to 13th after a game. But looking at the bottom half of the table, Oviedo is completely relegated. Levante is on 36 points. They're in 19th. Alaves are on 37. They're in 18. Girona are on 39 at 17. Espanyol on 39. Mallorca on 39. Elche on 39. Sevilla on 40. Valencia on 42. So long story short is, depending on how results go here, there's a team right now sitting, I mean, theoretically speaking, I think Bilbao might be safe, but Rayo Vallecano could be relegated and they're in 10th. So you have teams that are losing and dropping into a relegation battle after going into something, because looking at the European spots, Getafe right now in 7th, 45 points. So the funny part is you have teams that with a win could jump into European competition or can be down into a relegation competition. Super, super interesting to see. Sevilla have gotten themselves out of the drop zone, but that could change. Literally, if Alaves win and Sevilla lose, things could flip.
Yeah.
So super, super crazy there. I think Alaves are going to low-key be done for. They play Barca this week, which Barca I assume will play youngsters to avoid any injuries and players that haven't played a lot. But at the same time, I don't know. I don't think they're going to want to be. Is this game at home? Barca also, just a ridiculous season. They didn't lose a single game at home this year. I think they were 18 at home. I'm trying to see, is this game at home? This game is in, I think Alaves playing, I don't know if they play in Alaves or Madrid. I forget where Alaves is. But
that's crazy. I'm looking at Girona's roster right now. Dude, Axel Witsel not only is still playing, but he's still playing for the Belgian national team. Brother, leave the football before it leaves you. You're 37, dude.
Bro, people see the hair and think he still has it. You know,
dude, I didn't even know he was still playing. This team is literally just if this was FIFA 17, this team would be up there with Barcelona in terms of qualifying for the league. Ready? Listen to some of these players. They have Daley Blind, the
Yep.
Dutch player.
Daily
They
Blind.
have Donny van de Beek.
Yep.
Thomas Lamar.
Yep.
Axel Witsel.
Yep.
Abel Ruiz, Barca boy. Brian Heel.
Yeah, I forgot he was
And
there.
then
Spurs legend.
Victor Sinenkov, the Ukrainian.
Oh, yes. I did not know that's how you said his name.
If this team was like a over 30s men's league team, like they would be the best team ever.
Yep. Talking about Espanyol real quick. Espanyol have not won a game since December 22nd, 2025. They have legitimately either lost or drawn all their La Liga fixtures. Because at one point, and this is where I thought they were in a better spot. Because
yeah, look, he reminds me of Spurs.
Okay. At that point, they were in like 6th, and they were like heavily pushing for like the Champions League spots, and they have just completely fallen out where now they're threatened with relegation. So kind of crazy. But La Liga will be something that's very interesting to watch the rest of the way here. Going on. Let's move over to Serie A. Como beat Verona 1-0 and secure themselves at least a European spot next season. So very exciting. We already spoke a little bit about that. Cesc Fabregas, by the way, today. I don't know who interviewed him. He was asked about the Real Madrid job, like, oh, would you take it? Is like a no, since you're a Barca guy, whatever. And he said, it is not a red line for me. The only thing that would be a red line is being an assistant coach there. I'd only ever be the head coach, which is kind of a weird thing to say, because it's kind of like, all right, well, you've already made the point, but like no one's asking you to be the assistant there.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know, weird. Juventus beat Lecce 1-0. Pooch, I'm going to let you talk about this one. Roma beat Parma 3-2. I already got a little bit of a scouting report from one of our avid listeners today about how crazy this game was, but why don't you talk us through it?
Yeah, just insane. I mean, Roma went up early. Parma come back. They make it 2-1 in like the 88th, 89th minute. It was looking done and dusted. Roma tie one up. And then in like maybe 95th, 96th, something crazy in stoppage time. I believe it was the Parma player either pulled back Malin or something, and he ended up getting a second yellow, which is a red.
Thank you.
And a penalty. And so Malin slotted it home, and they won 2 goals in stoppage time.
Insane.
To win the game, which basically saved their Champions League qualification. So Milan ended up losing on Sunday too to Atalanta. So the race now, Napoli has actually been brought back into the Champions League race. Not 100%, but they technically are still, they could still not make Champions League. So they're in second with 70. Juve is in third with 68. And then Milan is in fourth with 67, Roma with 67, and then Como with 65. All with 2 games to play. And there's 5 slots open for 5 teams open for 3 slots. It's crazy. So if you want a European race, probably could have worded that one better.
You're good. Keep going.
Go to Serie A.
Yeah, not always the most friendly towards race in Serie A, but in this case, it's a good race. Yeah, it's just frustrating seeing what Como's done, because there was a title race to be had here. They could have probably ended up in the second spot and then really pushed Inter if they just didn't drop some results, but that's okay. That is what it is. So that'll be interesting to see. Let's move over to the championship. So we highlighted a little bit. So the first leg of Middlesbrough, Southampton ended 0-0. I didn't watch this. You said it was kind of boring.
I did. It was extremely boring.
Okay, and then Millwall officially have fallen to Hull City 0-2. So everyone gets, this is best case. Best case, welcome back Hull City. Oh, no, they need to still play the final, sorry.
Yeah, I watched this game today instead of the Tottenham Leeds one for about the first 60 minutes, because I was like, somebody has to have eyes on this one. Millwall just looks so dead in the water at the Den. Like Hull City, Hull City didn't look great. It was literally just a replay of the first leg, where both teams like really didn't produce any chances. And then Hull City just found one spark, scored a goal, and then maybe 10 minutes later scored another one, and the game was done. Like, to be fair, once that first goal went in, you had the feeling that Millwall was not winning this.
Mm-hmm.
So congrats to Hull City. I think they'll get slammed by Middlesbrough or Southampton. For some reason, I know we said Southampton wins it, but I get the feeling Middlesbrough might just pull a rabbit out of the hat and get up.
As we were talking last week, I was reflecting a little bit. I was like, I wouldn't mind a little Middlesbrough back in the Prem. Middlesbrough were kind of an early Prem team. Like,
They actually have a few players that I think we've discussed in the past
Hayden
on their
Hackney.
team. Yes, Hayden Hackney is one of them. They have, I believe they now have, unless he went to whatever it's called.
Luke
Yeah, he went to
Ayling,
the
Matt
other one. They
Target.
have Aiden Morris, the
Yeah,
US
that's your guy.
fella. Yeah. They have some
Morgan
guys on
Whitaker's
this
out
team.
there. Morgan Whitaker was over at Plymouth, I remember, and he was getting a lot of hype, and then he made this move, and nothing's really come from it. But I do remember that name. That was an invert the wing guy. He loved Morgan Whitaker, like to a ridiculous level.
Yeah, they're a decent squad. I mean, my guess is half this team will just be gone anyway.
Yeah. I mean, these names, just looking at them, like, again, right, Hayden Hackney might stay in the sense like he would get a bigger move in the Prem. He wouldn't. But if he does stay, like, all right, he stays.
Oh, you want to know who I was thinking of? Mehmeti. He's on Ipswich Town, though.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't mind a little Middlesbrough. I mean, I'll take Middlesbrough or Southampton. I want to take
I just don't want to see Southampton in the Prem again because I know they're just going to go right back down.
I'm taking a look at their squad.
I'll say this, Southampton, if they don't make it back up to the Prem this year, mark my words, they're just going to be Norwich. Because remember Norwich for about 5 seasons would just be up, down, up, down, up, down. And now they're just perpetually stuck in the championship. Southampton, if they do not make it this year back to the Prem, they're going to be in the championship for the next decade.
I could see that, especially because when they pop down this year, they still probably, like, you have a little bit of pull of being like, hey, like, we're planning on going right back up. So you join us now and we'll go up. And like, once you go down again, it's like, well, do you, once you stay down, it's like, do you really have that pull? Maybe.
And then they have a few players that are Premier League players that are still on this team. So for example, Taylor Hardwood-Bellis. Taylor Hardwood-Bellis, Flynn Downs, Finn Aziz, Romeu.
Yeah, Romeu. One of the best Barca tweets.
Cam Archer. So they have guys on this team that a team in the Prem would easily take, but they stayed with Southampton this year. If they don't make it back up this year, those guys, I'm guessing, are all going to be like, yeah, I'm out. Like I'm a Premier League player. I only stayed because I thought we'd make it back up.
One of the best Barca tweets of all time about Oriol Romeu. It's this guy who he's actually, I think, a very, very good tweeter. Neil. He's Australian, but a huge Barca fan. And when Romeu came to Barca, there was a couple of games he looked decent as the 6. And he was like, I don't know how his stint will be with Barca, but on those big European nights, I think Oriol Romeu will end up being a player that we really, really appreciate having. That did not happen. And he references it all the time. Like, he'll like go back to it and just be like, I don't know, he'll just make comments about it. Or Oriol Romeu will be up in the news and people will just start tagging him in it. And it just becomes so funny because it was such a wild take. But, it's what we do as soccer fans. We overanalyze the fuck out of things. And then we remember it's Oriol Romeu. Sometimes you're like, it was just a one time a good game. It's like Harry Winks for Spurs. There was a game where
he's getting a lot of shit with Leicester. Did you see the stuff there?
No. Well, I know that they obviously went back down, but what happened with Winksy?
Like 2 games left in the season, I think he called like some fans like fuckers or like the C word because they were complaining about how the team was about to get sent down. And they're like, you're on too much wages. Like, you're not good. You're shit. And he just sent it back to the fans. And the fans were like, fuck you.
To put into perspective, Harry Winks, there was a game that I don't know if it was Champions League or it was a preseason friendly. It must have been like a Champions League that he like kind of bossed the midfield against Real Madrid. He was worth 32 million at one point. He's now worth 3.4 million. So it's just funny to see. But yeah, so obviously some decent games. Oh, we missed, and this is on me, we missed Old Firm Derby again. Mikey Moore, Spurs youngster, has scored again in that game, but I think Celtic ended up winning.
Celtic did win.
What was it, 2-1?
I believe so.
Yeah. That's something we got to get back into, man. We got to really dive in.
I mean, it's really tough when they play each other 12 times a year.
That, and also the fact when I'm scrolling on, and this is an issue which I'm actually to the creators of FOTMob, when I'm scrolling games on here, and I ask everyone to do it, right? Like when I'm trying to see like what games are coming up, it shows me La Liga first. I have Barcelona as my top team on here. Then it shows me like, Premier League, things like that. But like sometimes as you're scrolling, it will show me like the Argentinian league ahead of like Scotland, or it'll show me it over like, sometimes I'll see it over like.
You can fix that.
Okay, so that's like, it'll show me USL again because I'm following now a couple of those teams over other things. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh shit, I just missed a huge, like for instance, Super Clasico. down to Argentina. Like, I'll miss that game. You know what I mean? Because it's showing me Algeria first division, which, like, for instance, I'm looking at Wednesday's slate here. Bangladesh police are playing Agmora. So that's a derby day there in Bangladesh.
Game.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just hide all of them that you don't want to see, you'll see the ones that you do.
Yeah, listen, at the end of the day, like, if they want to reach out and help me out with this, no problem. But I don't want to, I don't need to be patronized here. I'm on the channel. So thank you for that, Pooch. Let's move into our new segment, a fun segment called Family Feud. Alrighty, we are very excited to get into our new segment today, Footy Feud. The creator himself is going to explain the rules, break this down for us. With no further ado, Mr. Admin Owen, take us away.
All right, gents. Pretty simple game. Should be a good one. Basically, I have a question here, so I'll reveal this top question. Which club has the most Premier League losses of all time, right? And now there are 5 boxes below this question, numbered 1 through 5, and you have to guess your club, right? You have to guess the answer. You get 3 wrong guesses before you're eliminated. And you get 5 points for fifth spot. No, 1 point for 5th spot, 2 points for 4th spot, 3, 2, 1, whatever. 5 points for the top answer. You understand.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's pretty simple. I don't think I need to explain too much more. Are you guys ready to jump into it?
Absolutely
100%.
fired up here. I kept thinking this was Jeopardy, but I'm much happier that it's Footy Feud.
Good. I'm glad I could provide that to you. All right, who wants to go first?
I'll let Ethan go first.
Look at Pooch always going second. Yeah, let's do it.
All right, E, who do you got?
Which club has the most Premier League losses of all time? Give me, I'm trying to think of a team that's been up. Give me West Ham.
That's a good guess, E. That's number 2.
Vamos!
Let's see if I can put you a little. Look at that.
Vamos, Pooch. Pooch is about to say some dumb shit like Man City.
I'm gonna say Everton.
Oh, that's it. That's number 1.
That's a banger.
Yup.
For Pooch.
Fuck. That's number 1.
Wanker.
You know what, Pooch? What sucks is the reason I said West Ham is because I feel like I've heard this question before, and I was like, it's got to be someone that's been in the league a while. Like, I can't say like Sunderland, who probably has a ton.
No.
Fuck. Okay. 3. Who's been in the Premier ton? Give me Derby County.
Oh, that's a horrendous pick.
No.
Yeah,
That's horrendous.
They had the worst season of all time, but they've been up to the Prem a couple of times, and they always just go straight back down.
they are not included.
Yeah,
Sorry.
see, bad. Give me Newcastle.
Newcastle United.
There's no way
They're
on that
not
list.
incled.
All
Oh
right.
wait, no, they are. They are.
Yeah.
They're tied with Southampton.
Fuck. All right, I gotta get the 3.
They both had a. Oh, I have the numbers here.
Okay.
The Newcastle had 412, but Everton had 456 Premier League losses.
Okay.
West Ham has 451.
What's funny is if my next guess was going to be Southampton, because we were just talking about them. Give me.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's all good, man. No worries. You're all good in my hood. Give me. This might be a bad shout. Crystal Palace.
Not the worst.
That is a
shout.
bad shout. They are not included.
Fuck. Perennially mid-table. Just figured like they've definitely racked up a bunch.
Give me Fulham.
Oh, that's a great shout. Are you looking at a Premier League table right now? I'm raw dogging this.
I'm raw dogging it too. Why would I look at that?
Fulham is not included. They are 8th.
It all starts with E. It all ends with E. Give me. They've been in the Premier a long time. They've been up with us for a while. Oh, I don't know if I want to do this one. I think I might do it though. Give me Leeds.
Oh, I was about to say Leeds.
Leeds are not included.
Fuck.
Yeah, I think you're dead. I think
I
that's
don't
3.
know. I don't know.
Oh, I forget. Fuck, I forget you 3. I thought we were just gonna keep. Damn it! I hate my fucking life.
I guess
Wait,
we
we
can
only
just
have-
keep going if
we
you
only
want
have
to just
3?
keep going.
Nah.
3 wrong answers.
Okay, so how many do I have? 1?
Yeah, you have 1.
No, we got to do it feud style where it's only 3. So I get 2 guesses now, right?
Correct.
To
Oh my
win
god, that's such bullshit. So fucking rigged.
it. Let me
Corruption
lock
again.
in. Let me
Corruption.
lock in.
Here, let's play some
Burnley.
defense.
Burnley are not included.
Yes, yes. Burnley
Okay.
were on top of my head. I'm so glad. Defense. 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 I got him rattled. Look, he's looking at his map right now.
Huh. I don't know. Norwich?
Norwich are not included.
Almost.
Okay.
The final two in fifth, we had Tottenham Hotspur.
You know what's funny is in the back of my head, I'm like, I should say
405.
Spurs, but I'm like, it's just a self-own if they're not on the list.
Right.
So I'd rather. Pooch, you should have said it.
Yeah, no,
I didn't think they were.
405. Number 3 was Aston Villa.
Fuck, that was my next guess.
417.
Fuck. That was literally my next guess because of the. All right, whatever. Now I have to come back against Pooch.
It's all right. There's another question. And
Pooch
let's get over
low-key-
to that now.
Pooch Loki always fumbles in these games. So
This is a fun one.
okay,
Which club has the highest income this season? This is not net profit. This is just which club has made the most money
okay.
I go
from
first.
selling players.
Wait, and just
From
to be clear,
selling players.
wait, selling
Oh,
players.
yeah, it's all players related. Yes,
Okay.
and Is this just Premier League or is this one open everything?
this is everything.
Okay. I'm first because Ethan went first last. I'm gonna go Bournemouth.
Fuck, that was going to be my guess.
A good guess, Pooch.
That
That's
was
number 2.
That was totally going to be my guess.
They made 310 million.
Mm.
This is a tough one. I'm just trying to think who sold this summer. Give me Leverkusen.
That's a good guessy. That's third.
Okay.
That's
There's a
231 million.
Wow. Shout out E. Pooch, should we want to talk strategy together real quick?
What strategy is there to talk?
No. I'm just saying, I think we're on the same wavelength here. I don't think it's big clubs, right? It has to be
No,
smaller.
I'm trying to think of clubs that had big players leave this. Newcastle.
That was a team I was thinking too.
Newcastle's not included. They're 8th.
What?
The only thing
Wow.
though,
Well, Isak got sold for 150, and then they also sold a couple other guys.
who else did they sell? That's my point. I think it's it kind of was just him. Oh my God, it all comes back down to E. This is such a bad position to be in. Pressure getting to me. I'm just kidding. I don't know. This is a random guess. I don't know if I want to do it. Should I do it?
Let's hear it, E.
This is all no. The team I was about to do, the signing I was thinking, I think happened last winter. It didn't happen this summer. Should I do it?
Sounds like you really want to.
Frankfurt.
That is not included.
I'm thinking Ekatike and I'm thinking Marmouche.
Ekatike and Marmouche.
But Marmouche was last winter, right?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Honestly, I have zero. I don't know. Give me Real Madrid. I don't think they're even close.
Who have they sold?
They are not.
Yeah, they're not
close.
even close. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I'm running out of names here. Especially
I
that
know.
one. The number one is because I thought Bournemouth for sure was number one.
That's why when you got first on this one, I was like, fuck. Because I knew Bournemouth was definitely going to be top 3. I'm glad I got Leverkusen with that one. Who's been selling? This is maybe... No, I don't think they really sold a lot. There was one team I was thinking because I'm thinking just the biggest sales this summer, but that's probably not the best way to go. It's kind of...
What's the club?
I'm not going to say that one.
You can say who you're thinking.
No,
I
because
feel
I'm
like
gonna
that makes it
steal
more fun.
No, because he knows I'm gonna steal it. Because I have nothing in the chamber.
Here's what I think I'm going to go with here. And this might be the most cheeky one because I feel like they talk about it all the time. Chelsea. I feel like they talk about all the time that they make a lot of. Let's go, number one. Let's go.
So smart.
Let's go. That's not who I was thinking though.
334 million.
What
They
were
sold
those?
31 players.
See, that's what I was thinking. Is they just? I don't think they had a big sale this summer. They just sell people like it's every summer it's 30 players. Let's go. It all starts with E.
This is my last guess.
Pooch just entered the co-zone.
Know if it's gonna be right, but on that same vein, I'm gonna go Strasbourg.
That's another thought I had, but that wasn't who I was
They're
thinking earlier.
not there.
Yeah, I'm out.
Pooch, I'm going to give you who I was thinking
I
earlier
mean, I'm
when I
out,
didn't.
so you can give away.
Well, it's not my guess, but who I was thinking was West Ham because Kudus, but then I couldn't think of any other players they
Maybe.
sold was the problem.
I don't think they've sold a lot. They've loaned out a lot.
Right. Well, also like Suchek didn't leave. Like some of their better players didn't leave,
Yeah.
which would have cost. The first thing I think here is the Premier League tax. So I'm even trying to think of who is sold within the league to one another. The first thought is like even Manchester City, but Manchester City don't do a lot of big sales per se, or if there is, I can't think of the player.
De
You know what?
Bruyne, but he wasn't big.
This might be-
He didn't go for a lot.
This might be cheek. I think they've only had one big departure though. The team I was about to say, and this is not my guess, was going to be PSG. Donnarumma left, but that's all I could think of. But again, they're a team that are very cheeky like that. Like they'll just have a couple like big sales that leave. All right. Ooh, no, those were loans. My next thought was maybe United, but those were loans. How many can I get wrong left?
I think 2.
Okay. This is really good podcasting. We'll obviously cut a lot of this. This is tough. I don't know. Fuck it. Give me Palace.
Palace is not included.
Pooch, you're liking the West Ham show? Oh, you were saying X. You weren't throwing up the
Yeah.
hammers, the irons?
No, I wasn't.
I thought you were just giving me the irons. And then my next shout would be Villarreal. Alex Baena, Yedmi Pino, I think, left there.
Is that your guess?
Based on what you're saying, I feel like it shouldn't be. But, fuck it. Let's do it. Villarreal.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah, that was such a bad guess. This is going to break me.
Number 5, Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Oh.
And number 4 is Wolves.
Fuck. I kept thinking bottom of the Prem table because of, like, I was thinking, like,
give up this year.
Strand Larson. Oh,
Aiden
no.
Nori, Strand Larson.
No, Strand Larson wasn't
Mitchell
from
So
Wolves.
high
Acuna.
volume. They've 25 departures.
Jeez.
What were Liverpool's big? Because Trent went on a free. Who else did they sell?
I don't know. I don't have an itemized list in front of me.
I'm trying to think. Yeah.
Who did Liverpool get rid?
Luis Diaz.
Okay, that was probably a big one right there.
Luis Diaz.
Darwin Nunez maybe to Saudi. That's where we
Darwin
fucked up. We didn't
Nunez,
think
yeah.
Saudi either.
No, I was thinking Saudi. It's just they were also ass that went to Saudi.
Right.
It's not like a Ronaldo or Ruben Neves.
All right. Well, as per usual, I have topped Pooch in this battle.
Pause.
I want to do another one. I don't care how long the episode is. I'm gonna do this all night.
All right, one more. We're not
Okay.
doing the other 2.
Okay,
We'll play Footy Feud again.
Okay, thanks, Dad. Before bed. All right.
Let me just update the
Final
score.
one here.
12-9 going into the final round. And this last question is: which nation has the most trophies? Now, we're speaking of national teams, not like actual
Mhm.
countries. Which
Okay.
national teams have the most competitive trophies?
Okay. So I go first.
Yep.
Brazil.
Brazil.
They got to be top
Number
5,
3.
right? Interesting.
Yeah, number 3.
I'm gonna go
Now that we did this,
Argentina.
And that is number 1.
wow.
They're
the
always winning the
moneymaker right
Copa.
there.
They're always winning the Copa in my World Cup book.
Yeah. I
Always
also have a
winning
list.
the Copa.
Argentina has won 22 trophies, most of those coming from Copa.
Yeah.
And Brazil has won 17, with 9 of those coming from Copa. In comparison, Argentina has won Copa 16 times.
My next shout then here. Ooh, Germany.
Germany is not included. They are 6th.
Wow. Okay.
I'm gonna go Italy.
They are not included. They're number 8.
That makes sense. They have less
Really?
World Cups than Germany. And Euros. Think about Euros.
They have
So-
a few Euros.
Well, then,
No, you're right.
wait.
I mean, they're two cheeks of the same ass.
Wait.
So-
Oh, and can we just be clear when we talk competitive trophy, like what is included and what's not? Like Confederations Cup, is that included? And it's like
yeah,
Nations
yeah,
Nations
pretty much
League?
anything.
Okay.
That isn't like nonsense.
Hmm.
The Olympics are included.
Interesting. Give me Spain. Spain only have one
Spain
World
are
Cup, but
not
they have
included.
4 Euros. They have a couple Nations Leagues. They've won the Olympics. That's
They're
what I was
not
going-
even top 10.
Yeah. The tricky part.
Remember when I said last episode about them like not winning a knockout round.
No, they were
match
asked for a
until,
while.
like,
But
yeah.
I was just thinking, like, they only have one World Cup, but they've now won 4 Euros. They've won a couple of Nations Leagues. They did lose the Confederations Cups back to Brazil. Okay. Yeah. I wasn't going to let you take my country. How's that sound?
Give me Egypt.
Yeah, that was the shout right
Egypt.
there. I was thinking AFCON. I couldn't think of who, though.
Hold on, I could have sworn they were. Hold on. Wait, brief pause. Brief pause.
Brief pause. Brief pause, everybody. Everyone, just brief pause, please.
Just please, just keep it
You know
brief, everyone.
I got you guys. Don't worry.
Everyone, hold on. Everyone, hold on. Everyone, hold on.
Hold.
Okay, I didn't fuck up. Egypt is not included, but they are top 10.
Okay.
I'll take that.
That's all back down to E then. Netherlands? No, they don't win shit, Ethan. That was horrible.
And you're out of your guesses, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that was that.
Wait, is it 3 wrong or 3 guesses?
3 wrong.
Be wrong.
So what were my 3 wrong?
Germany, Spain,
Germany,
Netherlands.
Italy, and Netherlands.
I guess.
I'm down to my last one here.
Hey, you're still up. All you need is Pooch to either get a 1-pointer or nothing. This is a big question for Pooch right now.
Defense. 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 There's got to be a shot
The
clock,
garden
right?
is rocking right now.
Hold on. There's no shot clock. You just went through 25 teams on the last one to figure out Villarreal. I get more than 5 seconds to think through this one. My initial thought is Uruguay, but
This is like so unfair. This guy reads fucking history books on this shit.
Uruguay,
Make it something
France.
cool. Talking to women. Something
Let's
like
go. Let's go. I'm gonna throw a rogue one out there. I think it's wrong, but I'm gonna throw it. Australia.
that. I was trying to think of Oceania.
No.
That is not included.
Let's go. Pooch
Your
bottled
top
another
5.
one.
The
Pooch
top
bottled.
5 are USA,
Fuck.
That's what I was thinking.
Gold
too.
Cup.
Yeah.
Mexico was-
Yeah, dude. I was thinking
my
those
God.
two as well.
and this
Fuck.
one's gonna hurt Pooch. This one's gonna hurt.
Uruguay. I knew it was Uruguay
So
because they're so. Once again, it's the
Yep.
Copas kill me because they've been doing Copas since the turn of since the 1920s. So like Uruguay was dominating, and then they've
Yep.
fallen off a cliff once like the 70s hit. But yeah,
if I didn't
They're
throw out my
15.
if I didn't throw out my shitty guess of the Netherlands, I was thinking USA or Mexico for gold cups and all that shit, especially because obviously there's only like 8 teams or something in the Confederation. My other thought, which you were on the right page, I was trying to think of what team in Asia. And I was
Yeah.
like, should I say South Korea? Should I say Japan? And I was like, oh, maybe Australia. And then I was like, just go Mexico. But I'm like, again, I feel like that's going to be like no, they don't win anything.
Yeah,
Fuck.
like my thought with USA and Mexico, because they were on my mind after the Argentina pick,
Yeah.
where it was, I just thought that they split all of them
Yes.
so much that it would be like 8-8 instead
Yeah.
of whatever it
The
ended
only-
up being.
The only thing is, like you said, is even 8-8 is like probably more. Like we think Germany. Oh well, Germany has 5 World Cups or 4 World Cups. How many do they have? They have 4, or they have less. They won in 2010. They won in. This is why we need your Pooch's World Cup review.
They won in 90.
90, right? They won in 90.
They won in 50 something.
Okay, I think they have 4 because Brazil has
Yeah.
5.
They may also have 5. No, I think they're tied with Brazil. Anyway.
No, I
anyway.
think Brazil is most.
We'll figure it
Anyway,
out.
very, very good segment. I enjoy that. I hope the
Yeah.
fans at home. It's going to sound a lot better when I cut it, and it doesn't have us pausing for an hour and a half in between each guess and us just naming countries. But yeah, let's get into the end here. Just a quick midweek preview. There's really not too much footy going on this week, so good week to spend time with your family and friends. Go outside, maybe touch grass, play FIFA. I don't know. Quick midweek preview. We have Middlesbrough versus Southampton Leg 2 tonight. If you're interested, watch that. The first game was ass, but I kind of feel like the second game is going to be better. I feel like these games, the playoff games, just always have crazy, second legs. City versus Crystal Palace, obviously a big one for the Premier League title race there. That'll be Wednesday. Villarreal versus Sevilla, just again bringing up the whole La Liga title race and keep an eye on Sevilla. And then Coppa Italia. No, not the 90s Coppa Italia, but Coppa Italia, Lazio versus Inter. I think Inter's going to win that handedly. But yeah, any thoughts on those games, Pooch, before we wrap it up here?
No, I think all 3 of them or 4 of them will be really entertaining games.
Nice guy.
And everyone should check it out.
Good stuff. Oh, and anything to leave the fans with?
No.
Well done, Owen. That being said, this was another terrific episode of the Class is Permanent podcast. Make sure to follow, like, subscribe, share, send it to your mom, send it to your dad, send it to whoever. Pooch is doing a lot of work on the YouTube, so please go and show us love. All we ask, like, you don't even have to watch the full videos, man. I mean, we love if you do, but if you could just throw a like on it, give it a subscribe, share it, whatever you can do. We're really trying to up our social media presence and up just our content creation. The only way we grow is if you guys help us grow, or if Pooch lets me hire some people from the Philippines for $6 an hour to clip farm. But that being said, we're going to keep it moving here. We will see you guys on Friday. Peace.